lots of tissue here. Oh, it's a dual. Thank you. That's good too.
Well, I don't know how many people know that Lyle was very competitive. And I can remember having to play checkers with him, or Chinese checkers, or anything, and I never won a game. Of course, he was 3 years older than me, but it was very difficult to try to beat him and know that there's no chance that I was ever going to win anything. And the chance that if I did, he would make my life so miserable. I would hate that to happen. So anyway, when he was, I don't know, about 12, 13, he was the pitcher on the ball team that Chrono had. So he constantly practiced his pitching, and I was the catcher. And he let me use his ball glove to catch. And we used the barn as the backstop. So I quickly learned that if I jumped away from the ball, I wouldn't have too far to run to get it. And so that was a lifesaver too, because he didn't let up on the speed. And I was like deathly scared of the ball. So then fall came and he got a football. So I had to run and get the football after he got it. And then that was a little too slow, so he taught me to throw the football. And I got pretty good at it. And years later, when I was teaching, I was walking back to school at noon hour. High school boys were out playing football, and the ball got away and landed right beside me. So I picked it up, and then I got ready to throw it, and the boys all started to laugh. They were thinking, and I could hear them, "Oh, she probably throw it 5 feet." Well, Lyle had taught me well, because that football went from where I was, which was about twice as far or 3 times as far as from here to the back of the building there, and it just went beautiful. I wish the Rough Rider coach had seen it. Couple weeks ago, my youngest daughter, Carmen, and I, and the 2 kids, Elise is 5, Casey is 12, went to see Connie. She was in the hospital. And we went one evening, and she was having a good day for one of her, I guess maybe her last good day. And she said she was waiting for her pill. And a nurse came to give it to her. And she said, "I wish you girls would be more honest with me. You keep telling me that my hair looks good and that I look really good. And I know you're not being truthful with me." Then after the pill incident, she looked at the little kids and she said to Carmen, my daughter, Oh, those kids are so cute. They got such cute little faces and they're so adorable. And what happened to their mother? So she didn't forget her sense of humor right to the end.
Oops. Hi, my name is Deb. I'm one of Connie and Lyle's nieces. And I remember Auntie Connie when I was mostly as a teenager, and remembering her teaching me how to be beautiful too. And she was the aunt that took me and to Merle Norman. And the Merle Norman lady, did my makeup and told me how to do things. And Auntie Connie was sitting there and she told me why that advice made some sense. And so I always remember that, and I always remember that advice. And for years decades almost, I wanted slippers like Auntie Connie. I always loved the way she walked. She had a softness to her walk. And it was about a decade ago that I discovered I had bought these slippers at a store, and I got home and I put them on, and it's like, oh, Auntie Connie slippers. Finally, I have found them. And maybe I could walk softly like her as well. She was a lovely woman. I always enjoyed her. And my Uncle Lyle, he was, a very supportive uncle, and very supportive. Except there was quite a difference between us. As you've heard, cars were quite important to him, and he invested time and energy and money into that. And for me, the cheapest car was always what I wanted, and the oldest. I never wanted to spend money. So I lived in Alberta when I was in my 20s, and often would use Lyle and Connie's place to park my car when I went on a trip or something. And Uncle Lyle would always make me park in the back. So I thought that was pretty funny. And I do miss them both. They were great aunt and uncle to me.
Thank you, ladies. Doug, would you like to come and speak? That's okay. If you have nothing prepared, that's okay. Just anything off the cuff would be good. We're not recording, so you don't have to say anything.
No, I sure remember your mother's cookies. And when we were kids at the farm, she would come and make those cookies. And I went back like 20 years later or 25 years later, same cookies right there. And I hadn't been thinking about it at all. And it's like, boom, those cookies. Yeah, and yeah. No, I think they had raisins. I think oatmeal raisin, as I recall. So, yeah, I remember that. And your dad, just such an intelligent person, and when Gord said, take my car, don't wreck it. And that's how people were with us, was just like, I remember one time we did something with the tractor probably and it wouldn't start. Yeah. And I'm not sure if it was your dad, I'm not sure who it was, but I remember them putting into gear. We were 7 or 8 years old and they said, yeah, don't wreck it. Walked away. So it was just wonderful. And just great people, and those are really the things that I remember about my childhood, are really those times that we spent together. And Yeah.
But Norris Farm was a wonderful place for me.
Yeah.